This is crazy. $95,000 in the div pool. This is nuts. Payout's going to be $13.20. For me, this is just in a 12-hour period. Now, what's going on right now, there's a promotion that's ending. It's like a kind of like a race and a wager race. And so there's a bunch of whales just going in right now chasing after that Bit5 Bitcoin promotion that's running on the Chips platform. Now, I've done a whole video on Chips before. It's part of my most profitable investments playlist. I'll make sure that I include that above, and you can take a look at it down in the description as well. Here's the thing with Chips. Chips had a rocky start. I'm telling you, Chips did not come out of the gate well at all. And I've got plenty of things that I could talk about on Chips, mainly their marketing. They really haven't done a great job with it. They're getting there, though, because they have a solid product. So this is a sign that the players playing, they're not looking for miners at all. They're looking for players. These people aren't going around paying YouTubers to talk about mining the token at all. They're looking specifically for gamers, gaming, talking about it on streams like Twitch. And they've been bringing some players in. They've been running some good promotions. This promotion right here has obviously been a hit. Hopefully they'll do another one in the next couple of weeks or next month or whatever. But people will sleep on this platform because it doesn't seem to, they get like $10,000 a day in divs, $10,000, and it doesn't seem like a lot. But what the thing is, when you mine, I jumped into this thing with $1,000, and I used the mogul mining method. I mined $1,000 worth of tokens. And it got me about, I think, 6,000 at the time, 6,200. It would get you less than that now because the mining rate has gone up to $43 wagered. And when I started, I think it was $39 wagered. So I've mined these tokens, and I keep compounding. I'm compounding every day. Like, I'm going to compound this. I just keep compounding every day. And this is one of my platforms that I'm using when I'm looking at withdrawing $10 a day, $10 a day. Now, obviously, we're going to surpass $10 a day today. This is only on a 12-hour period. But this isn't a normal volume for this gaming platform. But here's the key for me. I look at, earlier today, I talked about, for example, the DSP token. That token is fire. That thing could be life-altering for somebody. Hopefully me. And I'll put a link above or a link in the description. But a platform like DSP or T2X or Hex, there's a real possibility that those platforms are going to have some sort of lifespan, meaning there's going to be a clear end. Like, it's obvious now that at some point it ends, unless they end up creating either one of those platforms. It's a unique token distribution model, but there's not a sustainable long-term business model there unless they create some sort of use case out of the token. Obviously, Hex has more long-term potential, but it doesn't have the same cryptocurrency potential right now today. It did at one point because a lot of people did well with Hex in the beginning. But today, it's going to have to create some sort of adoption. T2X, DSP, they're going to have to create something if that's going to continue on. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, I know they got exchanges they're talking about. T2X already has one, etc. Let me get off that topic. The point being is this is creating a stake in a gaming platform that I think has a bit more integrity than like Wink and BetFury. And when I say integrity, I mean it's a little bit more pure. I don't mean integrity like somebody's being dishonest. There's a purity there. Chips doesn't have multiple tokens. With Wink, you have Dice, Live, stuff like that. You have Dice, Live, Rake, and Wind Drops. So you have basically 4 tokens. With BetFury, you have BFG and BFG TRX. BFG BTC, BFG TRX. And don't get me wrong, love BetFury. It's got over $1 million in the div pool today. Don't get me wrong, I love BetFury. But being able to build a stake early, specifically if you're not a whale. If you can just keep either compounding or put a little bit in, and I hear people say, oh, I don't get enough divs to compound. I get it. So just compound once a week. The idea is when it goes off like this right here, you get much, much better divs. Much better divs. What am I going to do with this? Me personally, I'm going to compound it. I just want a bigger position in this platform because BetFury, even Moolah, which I haven't talked about in a while, Wink, and BFG, Wink, BetFury, Moolah, and Chips. All 4 of these platforms are business models that have long-term potential. Now, they might go out of business. Anything can happen. They're just like any business. Over 90% of businesses go out of business in the first 5 years. Not one of those businesses are 5 years old yet. However, coming in early into these business models, holding a position in and being able to earn dividends from their profits and the bankroll, being able to get a piece of that bankroll action. I'm not talking about gaming on the platform. I'm talking about investing in the platform. I think that's huge. And being able to do it where you can get in early and just keep building a position. Because here's the thing, chips, they're sitting around, most days they're around $10,000, $5,000, $10,000, $13,000 is a pretty good day on what they pay out at the time of payout. Now, with that being said, I'm rocking a whopping, $1, $1.50. Not a whole lot to worry about. But then when you have a day like this, and see, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a lot of volume to be able to produce a $95,000 day. And when that happens on a platform like this, the divs just pop. So I'm going to keep compounding. I suspect this is going to drop back down once this contest is over, but knowing that that's always possible. I'm going to compound this, and I'm going to just keep compounding. I'm not adding to this. If you saw my video today, you saw where part of my focus was. I'm not adding to this. I'm also not withdrawing this. When I'm in a platform, I'm typically compounding. I don't withdraw from that platform. Even if I'm not adding more to it, I don't withdraw. If I want to build a long-term position here, I don't want to have to mine these tokens when they're even more expensive, because here's the bottom line. I don't want this baby to just knock. First of all, you need to understand, Chips is very serious about only having one token ecosystem. They made that very clear from day one. They don't like the idea of having mining events. They don't want to attract miners. They want to attract players. That's huge for long-term potential. The dev team had a rocky start. They had some tech issues getting started, but they've got it up and going. It's rocking and rolling now. I think it's a good thing. I literally think of all of the platforms, the most long-term potential is going to go to either Wink, because they have Justin Sun behind it, or it's going to go to Chips. That's just my guess. I don't have any proof of that. That's just my guess. With that being said, the best earner right now by far is BetFury, by far. But my goal is when I get BetFury up to about $10 a day in divs, I'm going to start using some of those tokens I'm start doing a portion of that, maybe 50-50 withdrawal, and come over here and just start mining some more on Chips, because I want to build a bigger position in Chips. Ultimately, I'd like to see this get to like 60,000 chips, somewhere in there. Also, Chips only has 100 million supply instead of like 5 billion. They only have 100 million supply. One token ecosystem. They're not focusing on miners, which means if you're a miner, you have a chance to be able to really mine this well, because none of the other miners are here, because they don't care about miners. They're not. People complain in the Telegram all day. Div suck. They don't care. All they really care about is, are there new players talking about wanting to play? Are people playing in the promotions? That's what they care about more than anything. It's about how do we attract more players. They're not worried about the miners, but as a miner, that's what you want. I don't want them to care about me, because then it means it's going to be short term. It means the only way they're going to be able to promote people to play is to promote people to mine. And anytime they promote people to mine, when you're smaller, when you're not a whale, when you're not rocking around with a million Tron, then you don't want the million Tron guys over here mining. You don't want them here. So the way I see it, this is a time for me to get in now and start building a position over time, because this thing has nothing but upside potential. Chips is on fire today. All right, stay tuned. I had a whole nother video planned. I actually pushed it back. I had a schedule for tonight, but I was like, no, we got to talk about Chips. They deserve it, man. They're on fire right now. They might hit 100. They might hit 100,000 tonight. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. You can check out Chips. I put a link in the description. This is Crypto Wealth. Remember, crypto equals freedom. I'm out.